Have you ever noticed that you can tell someone something over and over again, and maybe they actually listen to some of it? I got to see this firsthand when I taught chemistry. And chemistry is a tough subject and daunting for even the most confident of students. And what I learned is the more questions I asked, the better I understood the blocks that were keeping my students from mastering the concepts that I was actually desiring to teach them. I'm Elizabeth Mahusay, elite sales and leadership coach with Southwestern Consulting. Today, I want to talk about pick your path to tell or to ask. So, tell is defined by communicating information, facts, or news to someone in a spoken or written format. And the challenge with telling is that, let's face it, we are the primary communicator and we aren't necessarily giving space for an individual or the persons with whom we are speaking or communicating an opportunity to engage what we are actually telling them. Now, let's compare that with the definition of ask. So, to ask is to say something in order to obtain an answer or to receive some information. And when we ask questions, we give space for an individual to actually engage their minds, to express or to reflect on an experience or to think through an impending event or to express some emotion or feeling. In the case of when I was teaching chemistry, what I learned is the more questions I asked, the better I actually understood what a student was or was not comprehending. I could have persisted in repeating the same information over and over again, but let's all remind ourselves about the definition of crazy: doing the same thing, or maybe saying the same thing, expecting different results from the person who's actually listening to you. So each day, as sales professionals and leaders of sales professionals, we have the opportunity to pick our path to tell or to ask. Now, there are actually many dimensions to this topic, and I'll likely share more in the future. But today, I wanted to share 4 tips for how we can each cultivate the habit of asking over telling. Number 1, this week, I want you to work to catch yourself in what I call tell mode. When I catch myself in tell mode, I have learned to say, rather than me telling you, let me ask you. And then I will ask a question that will help me to know whether or not we're on the same wavelength or they've engaged the content accordingly. Number 2, I want you to cultivate asking by building positive affirmations and self talk around it. So, for example, each day I will say, I ask great questions that cause my clients, my team members, my colleagues, my family to engage in self reflection, self realization, and problem solving. Number 3, challenge yourself to go through an entire conversation only asking questions. Oh, yes, it's probably for some of us as hard as it sounds. Number 4, develop a question bank. I've had a lot of clients who have found this incredibly helpful. Develop questions that you can take into a meeting or have with you for a phone conversation to assist your brain in not having to think on the fly. Remember, most people will believe some of what I say, some of what you say, but closer to 100% of what comes out of their own mouths. So today, I want to ask you, are you going to pick the path of telling or the path of asking? I'm Elizabeth Mahusay, elite sales and leadership coach with Southwestern Consulting, hoping that you have a super day. If you have found this content helpful, please share it and be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and set those notifications so that you know each time a video is dropped. I appreciate you tuning in and have a great day.